everyone, welcome back to another video, and today we are continuing with the final story for The Sorrows of Wired, at least for the time being. It's not technically part of the story, but it is us unlocking the Emerald Weapon Extreme. So here we are back in Girobania, the Porta Palatoria, and we accept the quest from the Warmachina fanatic. And let's see what he has to say. Of late, all I could think about is weapons, weapons, weapons. I channeled this passion into crafting homages of my favorite warmachina, which is more than a mere hobby. It is the wind in my sails. Okay, how about the emerald weapon then? Why, yes, of course. Just a moment, please. Ugh, gods be good. This thing weighs a tons. Perhaps I should have used lighter materials. Oh, that's impressive. How do you make those things float? So what do you think? Is it every bit as terrifying as the foe you faced? Behold the malevolent Malicite Marauder, the vicious Verladinian villain, the Jumentorous Jade Giant. Actually, perhaps not that last one. Anyway, it's the Emerald Weapon! I assure you, I spared no expense in making it as true to life, so to speak, as possible. The information we received regarding its design revealed several startling details. Perhaps most surprising of all were the free-floating manipulators, or hands if you prefer, which allowed it to attack from multiple angles simultaneously. We even learned that their positioning was based on tactics used by Gaius himself when he led the Imperial invasion of Voilet. But surrounding the target, they were able to bombard it from all sides while keeping it pinned down. Buddy, I think you need help. I agree with you there, Claire. Not only that, but the Emerald Weapon was able to perfectly replicate Gaius's renowned turn-this-edged gunblade technique, though on a much larger scale. I wish I could have been there to see it for myself. Ooh, you're so lucky. Yeah, lucky. Goodness me, all this talking has made me rather parched. Seriously, you really should see some professional help. But before I pour myself a nice glass of Lokar Arctic, I think it's time for us to fire up the real virtual combat simulation Experience-Nator to see what wonders it can conjure. Anything could happen, so don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, so we just unlocked the Castrum Marinum Extreme, or the Emerald Weapon Extreme. Oh boy, but I really think that we should maybe talk to Sid about getting him maybe someone to talk to or something, because it's kind of creepy. Okay, this pile of papers appears to be a collection of reports written by members of the Resistance. The Emerald Weapon. Name, the Emerald Weapon. War Machina developed by the 7th Imperial Legion as a successor to the Ultima Weapon. The third reported instance of the synthetic orosite system being employed in battle. Combat data from Gaius van Belsar, former legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion, was used as a bias for its attack parameters. Our analysis concludes that any data collected after van Belsar commenced his invasion of Eorzea was lost following his defeat at the Palatorium. Therefore, the data used in the Emerald Weapon must have been gathered in the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity. His gunblade techniques and tactics involving multiple soldiers bearing rage weapons were incorporated in the War Machina's armaments. In particular, the floated manipulators that could be positioned at various locations around the battlefield. The Emerald Weapon is believed to have been transported from the Imperial base in Turncliffe to Castrum Marinum, where it underwent final adjustments. It was then finally destroyed in the operation spearheaded by Claire Fay. Okay, and now let's read up a little bit more on Rex, pilot of the Emerald Weapon. All other information regarding the subject was gained via verbal testimony of Gaius Belsar. This former citizen of Weyler was orphaned at a young age when an epidemic killed his parents. He was later fostered by Gaius and was raised alongside several others in the Imperial orphanage. He was known for being extroverted and outgoing, and his lack of restraint often made him the center of attention. However, this was accompanied by an explosive temper, and he would often confront those he believed were threatening his foster siblings, with little regard for rank or social status. He later joined the Weapon Project in order to support his foster brother, Alphonse. His final mission was to pilot the Emerald weapon, which ended with him becoming fused with its core and perishing shortly after. Estimated age at time of death, 18 years old. That is just so depressing. Oh boy. I suppose we could call it there, but you know what? Let's head straight back to Turncliffe real quick and just see if we have any other kind of quests or interesting bits of information. I don't think that we will. I think we've pretty much seen everything up to this point, but you never know. And where is he? Okay, it's him. Heading to Turncliffe. All right. Oh, it's that guy again. I must thank you for introducing us to Alvinia. To cut a long story short, Master Sid has decided to let her into the hangar whenever she likes. In exchange, she's given us all sorts of useful information about the Empire's warmachina. She even offered to help us make improvements to the G-Warrior. I have some very suspicious feelings about that. We were asked if we could help a lady named Alvina build a monument to Turncliffe's falling, so I sent a few of the others to lend a hand. That's a nice idea, but I'm still not really sure what to think about that girl. I mean, if you watch my last video involving the weapons, we just recently did a quest involving that Al-Ra girl. And I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of suspicious allowing her near the G-Warrior. It just feels a little bit too... what's the word? Convenient? That we just happen to run into someone who has studied and worked on all the weapons and now all of a sudden is helping us out. I can't help but feel like maybe she wants to get to the G-Warrior and maybe like do something about it to maybe see if she can somehow copy Claire's, like the Warrior of Light's fighting prowess. That's just me. So that makes me kind of uneasy. Oh, and then there's this whole thing. Yeah, so I wasn't aware of this at first. But, you see, this boy here, he is supposed to be like a symbolic version of Rex. And he's playing like hide and seek with his two friends right over there. So these two kids, they look so much like Melistindia and Recon, especially when they were kids. And so this is kind of symbolic that, yeah, the siblings, like these kids, they're all being reunited in the afterlife. Like one at a time. So first it was Melistindia, and then we had Recon here. And they're now about to be joined by Rex. I mean, it's not really them. I think they're just using this as just symbolic reasons. Yeah, so there's supposed to be two others, and I'm kind of worried that this is actually going to end very badly for Alphonse and Ellie. Oh, that's just me. Leave Allie to me. Having cared for my mother for so long before being transferred away, I like to think I developed suitable bedside manner. Yeah, you might want to keep a close eye on her, because I have a feeling that this is not going to end well for anyone. The majority of the 7th Legion are sure to be stationed at the city of Warlet, the heart of this occupied territory. Whether Alphonse is there with them remains to be seen. According to Ellie, another weapon lies in wake, but where we do not know. It stands to reason, however, that if we were to find it, Alphonse would surely not be far away. While I am painfully aware of the cruelty the Empire shows its enemies, even I am appalled to hear of how it treats its own. War machina that feeds on the very lives of their pilots? I can scarcely imagine anything more heinous. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, but I think that's going to be all that we can learn for right now. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. That's going to conclude the story of the Sorrows of Wyards, at least for the time being. We will be wrapping up the story in patch 5.5, so I hope you all look forward to it. So until next time, everyone, you take care and stay safe out there. Bye.